Hi, my name is Steve Schwab. Over the next few minutes, we are going to share with you why MIATEX Energy Mist should be part of your refrigeration solution. Let's review several advantages to this solution. How Energy Mist will substantially increase the cooling capacity of equipment you already own. Why Energy Mist saves electricity when conservation is needed most. Why using sprinklers may cost you much more than you might think. How Energy Mist avoids water and mineral damage to the condenser. Other benefits, such as extending the life of your refrigeration equipment and reducing the service and repair that may otherwise be required. And then we will review the cost of ownership for the Energy Mist solution. Let's start by sharing with you how Energy Mist works.
Energy Mist really is a very simple system. It just controls the temperature around your cooling units. When it comes on, it actually cools down the ambient temperature, and the system, your refrigeration system, seems like it's just a cooler day. There really isn't any more to it than that.
The Energy Mist actually controls the environment outside around the condenser. It's allowing it to cool it off faster, to cool off the refrigerant faster, go back in, grab more heat, bring it back outside. That's what makes it more efficient.
A lot of what takes place is that refrigeration condensers are purchased for a lower scale, or to be able to keep up with a set demand, but when those higher temperatures come up, they realize that they have a need for more support on the condensers.
Looking at the chart, you can see the potential for Energy Mist, increasing capacity by 20% and decreasing peak energy demand by 30%. Of course, these results can vary according to outside weather conditions, but in most cases you will find these are reasonable and achievable numbers.
When my customers first purchased the Energy Mist, the first thing they noticed was obviously the increase in cooling capacity and how much lower the head pressure runs.
Yeah, it was very warm out that day, and noticed a big drop in temperature as soon as we fired that thing up. It was nice, actually.
Because damaging the condenser with water and minerals is a primary concern of this technology, let us share how we have completely eliminated this concern.
We offer the Energy Mist Shield in those instances where the customer has a concern over having water or the spray go on to the coils or to the fans, and with the possibility of doing some damage or scaling. In stores where we've put this Energy Shield on, we haven't noticed any of that.
We have this shield that acts as a buffer in a way that it allows the air movement to go through. At the same time, it protects any of the mist that is not evaporated, and if there's any contact, it collects it on this filter, which is the Energy Shield, and that will just fall down instead of getting collected on the fins and then onto the coils.
I've heard of people worried about water damaging their condensers, but with Energy Shield, it's just not a concern.
They just feel it's going to damage their system because of the lack of knowledge.
With the fine mist generated by Energy Mist, water typically evaporates before it reaches the condenser. As added insurance, the Energy Shield will not permit water to get to the other side.
We have some customers that are concerned about using the shield with possibly some restrictions to airflow, and we just haven't had the problem.
As you can see in this demonstration, air easily penetrates the Energy Shield, but the mist does not. This affordably and reliably eliminates the concern of water damage you might experience with other methods. Using typical garden sprinklers under your condensers is not only inefficient, it actually damages the condensers and shortens the useful life. In a recent survey in the upper Midwest, we learned that 9 out of 10 independent grocers use sprinklers in the summertime to achieve needed cooling capacity. The majority of stores went out of their way to avoid acknowledging the use of sprinklers at all.
The use of sprinklers is more common than I think people like to admit.
When you use sprinklers, you don't have any control on when they go on, they'll go off, outside of you knowing to go turn the faucet on and off. A lot of times that'll happen and it'll get forgotten. It'll be on for weeks or days at a time, and the water usage and the sewer usage becomes extravagant, and it's really it's a shame to have that much water wasted.
They're using a lot of water, a lot of wasted water. Over time, that can also damage because of direct contact of water and minerals inside the water to their coils.
Before the system was here, we used to use a soaker hose to go over the hot days to keep it cool enough. Well, since they put the energy mister in, we've definitely cut down on our water bill. We were going through a lot of water during the summer, and between that and the time, we don't have to mess with it. That saves us time too. So it's been a good deal.
MeaTech's Energy Mist units are not at all like using sprinklers. They are far more effective, save you more money, and get better results in so many ways.
The energy mist is actually set at thermostatically. So if, say if the design temperature that you want it to come on is once it reaches 85 or 90 degrees up on the roof, the machine then cuts on. And then after it reaches a certain temperature, it could very well shut back off. So there's an on and off to that, whereas using a water hose and a sprinkler, you have manpower that has to remember that, you know, to go back up there for one thing, to turn it on or to turn it off.
What we've reviewed or seen on rooftops many times, or when people are using sprinklers, is that they have a tendency to turn it on and forget about it. And so they even go through the night when it's just not needed. And days that are even at lower temperature when it's not needed. And so it just continuously runs until somebody remembers, hey, wait a second, we have a sprinkler that's running up on top. So we have the, controlled by a temperature. So we can have a set point. It kicks on when it rises above that, and once it falls, it kicks off. So besides just saving water, you're saving electricity as well. You're saving man hours having to remember to turn on and off the sprinklers.
A key benefit of the Energy Mist system is reducing the stress on your refrigeration. Typically, this stress is brought on by very hot weather. Energy Mist resolves this issue and will substantially extend the life of your refrigeration equipment.
So when you think about the benefits of using the Energy Mist, you think about the compressors on your equipment, the maintenance costs. Liken it to a car. If your car ran at high RPMs continually, it could cause breakdown of many different components. So the Energy Mist system changes the weather and causes the equipment to operate in a more comfort zone, let's say, so it's not just the energy savings, but also the savings on maintenance and the repair costs.
Refrigeration will last longer because it's not running as warm or as hard as it normally would be.
The condenser and the job that it's doing, the compressors that drive are being affected by the Energy Mist because it's supporting it. It's making it work less hard than it would have to cool.
Consider the numbers. Energy Mist costs so little compared to the benefits financially. Lower repair bills, huge savings on large capital investments, greater reliability, and if you are using sprinklers, the financial cost of water savings alone pays for the Energy Mist unit in just one season.
I work in purchasing, and I understand the concept of sprinklers because they're a low-cost item. You can pick those up anywhere. However, when you compare that to purchasing some equipment, which is a higher cost up front, but when you run the numbers, the sprinkler running continuously with no one monitoring it. However, the equipment you purchase has temperature controls, and it's really, when you run the numbers, there's really no comparison. The equipment is far more affordable to own.
My firm belief that it's the best money spent, and the payback is, like I said, within the first season. The first season you'll realize a payback.
Typically, the Energy Mist is working only about 1% of the time. That's about 90 hours per year. It addresses the most critical times and then it turns itself off. This 1% represents the hottest times of the day on the hottest days of the year. Does it really make sense to increase the condenser size for 1% of its operating time?
I can understand many people thinking that if they just upgrade their energy systems, that will take care of the situation, but really we're just talking about the peak hottest days here that need to be taken care of, and the Energy Mist is the solution for that, instead of making a capital investment in replacing the cooling system.
Owning and maintaining an Energy Mist system might be less expensive and easier than you think.
Once it's in position, there's not really a thing that you need to check on a daily, monthly basis. You do have to keep in mind that colder temperatures, winter conditions, that you're dealing with water, so you need to winterize the system if you're in areas that are falling below 0 or 32 degrees.
Set it up, you run it. At the end of the season, you shut it off, decommission it. You can either remove the base unit and flush the lines out, but virtually there is no maintenance or scheduled maintenance for that equipment.
The Energy Mist is very easily installed and maintained. It uses magnetic clips to go on the outside of the condenser to just stay on there while you're using it. And then in the wintertime, if you want to pull them off, you can just release them and pull them down.
The bars can be removed very easily with the magnetic mounting clips. Disconnect the tubing with the quick connect fittings and literally just remove the bar.
MeaTech offers an all-inclusive maintenance program that addresses the commissioning and decommissioning of the unit each year and any possible breakdowns or repairs. This makes your cost of ownership 100% predictable. The next step is to experience Energy Mist for yourself. A MeaTech representative will be happy to create a proposal and program that works for your situation. Thank you for watching, and with your help, we would really like to demonstrate how MeaTech's Energy Mist can be part of your solution.